Amkeni mifupa mitupu, pokeeni hewa. Mifupa mikavu, valishwa misuli. Ni nani atakaye paza sauti ya haki? Nena bubu nena, kumejaa ukorofi.
My name is John J. I'm from Madare, a settlement called Kosovo. I work with Muungano wa Wanavijiji, Federation for Slums Dwellers. I work basically issues that involves water, sanitation, housing, and a bit of security within the area. But you realize we can't handle the water, sanitation, housing issue without also dealing with the security of tenants. That is why I joined Fahamu, and I have a passion of working with the community, and I also have something that keeps me going. That is a dream, or rather the vision, whereby I see Madare one of these good days, everyone will treat the dwellers within Madare just like any other dweller in Mudaiga, Buru, and other areas. I also expect to network with my fellow fellas from Masabit, Kisumu, and other areas.
I'm Angeline from Mount Elgon district. I'm from Community Development Sustainability Organization. I assist them in mobilizing and sensitizing the community on women, youth and children rights protection. Why I was involved in this activism, it was because I saw in our community women's, youth and children were oppressed. Especially women were not given even a chance to speak before the men because of the culture. What I need from this fellowship is, or why I applied to this fellowship was, I need the fellowship to assist me, to strengthen me, empower me with capacity, so that in my future I might be a leader in womenship leadership.
My name is Tipape Musa Naini. I come from Kajiado County, Lovyne. I'm leading an organization called Kajiado County Youth Alliance, and also another CBO called Kajiado Voices. What led me to activism is the passion that I have for my community, that the way things have been done, more should be done because of the status quo that I've always remained. The issues of land, the issues of leadership, the issue of girl, child and women, youth. See, those are the things that have actually made me to join activism. I see the fellowship program as very important, because even my education background, I've never done something concerning, activism, that is community development, such courses. So I feel like this is the right place to be, because it's going to equip me with the best knowledge to launch my activism, although I've already started it, but to get the best skills in order to be seeing the world in a reality manner.
My name is Emily Kwamboka. I come from Nairobi County. I come from a movement called Bunge la Mwananchi. I'm a community organizer, and what drives me to do this work, I do it with passion. Okay, first of all, I deal with the issues of women in the ground. The women who are oppressed. What I intend to gain more from the fellowship is the issues of leadership, because I know I'm a leader, but I'm not that perfect. I need to learn more for my leadership skills.
My name is Lovyne, llanyi. I'm from Migori County. What really made me to apply and join the fellowship was because I thought that Fahamu was going to help me address certain issues that were have been affecting me and at the same time affecting my community. Actually, I really want to deal with empowering young women of my age. I realize that in the community or even worldwide, women are really being oppressed, and you realize that you don't have say, you cannot even talk even in barazas, you cannot even decide even in you cannot even decide for your own body. I really want to address women issues, mostly on leadership, right from the household to even political issues. The main thing that made me to really enter into this activism world is really to help other women in my community of my age to really have the chance to fight for their space.
My name is Angeline, Ntarisa, Lekuton. I'm from Marsabit County. The community I focus in are the two communities, the Boranas and Rendile. I'm focusing especially in young people especially girls and women. This is because in my community they are all discriminated in one way or the other. I take part in my community to help them in order to know their rights and also what they have to do in generation to come in the future. I want the fellowship to help me. We go to Shikane hand in hand so that we let a great change in my community, because I have a strong feeling and commitment. I'm really committed to help my community so that I see that they are all okay. And girls, I see girls pursuing. I want to see girls pursuing, especially girls' child education.
I joined the struggle in the year 2007. This is after I'd gone through some of my own experience in life and in married life, and after I'd seen some of the challenges that I went through as a woman, and also after I'd realized some of the challenges that my fellow women in my community, that is in Homa Bay, Siaya and Migori, were going through. So this is the time that I really decided to start the fight and the struggle of issues of dealing with women.
3 years ago, actually, I was elected as the youth leader, in Kajiado County Youth Alliance movement for all youth in Kajiado County. It's an umbrella, it's a consortium of youth groups in Kajiado County. So for the last 3 years, I've been chairman, and we have been doing issues of activism for that time.
I joined my struggles 4 years back. So when I joined the struggle, because of the issues which were in my community, we had the issues of domestic workers. Domestic workers were being violated, and that's why I had to join the struggle.
I joined my activism in the year 2010. It's now 3 years.
Well, I joined the struggle in the year 2007. This was simply after, or rather during the elections that were happening, there were violence, and some houses were burnt, and when community were trying to construct some new houses, they got some challenges whereby some people claimed that the land belonged to them. So we had to organize ourselves, try to do land searches, and have a negotiation with the administration so that we could be allowed to do the construction.
When I was joining the fellowship, I was like a passenger who had just boarded a matatu heading to some community place. And you realize that most of the time you can just board a matatu not knowing even whether the matatu is insured, whether it has seat belts, or whether the tires are good, whether there are so many things. In fact, before I joined, I was like a passenger just entering into a vehicle and going, not knowing so many things about the vehicle.
Okay, before I joined the fellowship, we used to do demonstrations when somebody's violated, and we were not doing things in a structured ways. I didn't know how to go about it. What I used to do is go to the streets, closing the roads. Yeah, that's how I used to do my organizing.
My organizing was not so powerful because before In fact, I didn't know the right procedures on how to organize a community. To some extent, in fact, I could not even, when I was organizing, I could not involve all these other stakeholders, like we have departmental heads, we have other NGOs and organizations. Maybe during those times I could just involve only village elders like chiefs. But at this particular moment, at least my organizing, when I'm organizing any forum or any campaign, I have to involve all the departmental heads and other organizations and NGOs around that are also fighting against the same issues of children.
My organizing before the fellowship was very short because I had no experience, exposures, strategy to organize, mobilize were a bit shoddy. So yeah, everything was a bit short.
I've taken an active role in it. That is why I'm telling you that right now I'm like a driver who is owning the vehicle and is even driving a vehicle that has really been fully insured.
What is different in how I conduct my work, organizing work community, is that now, that time we only used to do demonstration now and then, but then now we have other way of doing it that I've learned from the fellowship, that is issues of community organizing, whereby we see that actually the entire community is connected. You have to involve maybe county government, elders, see? So that is different, and I've learned from the fellowship.
Right now things are totally different because I have a lot of knowledge which I gained from the fellowship. At least right now I do things in a structured way, more structured way. At least I normally go, and if there's a case, I handle it in a structured way. When I take it to the police station in a structured way, at least doing dialogue. I do things differently right now. When the employee has been violated with the employer, nowadays at least I do dialogues. I go to do dialogues instead of me rushing the case to the police station or doing demonstrations.
Okay, like for example, we have these cases of defilements. In case of a child when is being defiled, at first we didn't know if we were washing the child before taking her to the hospital. But at this particular moment, we have to take that child with those dirty clothes to the hospital to be proved. And also, from the hospital, we have to move to the police stations. We have this file. When you are opening a file, you have a number to be given and whatever. Okay, also, another thing is about child labor. You see, we could not know on how to follow to get that child of which the child is being maybe overworked, but we did not know what specifically made this child to be overworked or to be used as a labor in the farm. So at this particular moment, at least we have done some I have done some investigations that causes this child to be in such a situations, because we have poverty level. You see, you might find a young girl not having these all the necessary requirements for a girl. For example, we have these mature girls like class 6 or class 7 girls. You'll see they have some needs to access other things for their life, like sanitation. But you see that parent is not taking care of that child, and so that thing forces the child to be overworked so that she can look for her necessary things possible.
My organizing before I joined the fellowship, and now that I am a fellow, is a bit different because of the skills that I have gotten from the trainings in the fellowships, the exposures. I have gone a number of exchanges. I have learned a lot. on how to organize the community. So basically the strategy that I'll use elsewhere, like in South Africa, in Uganda, in Tanzania, I've consolidated that to my organizing, and it's a bit nice and interesting.
I would say some of the things that I've improved by organizing in the community. One, I would say at some of the sessions that I attended that were organized with Fahamu. One on the social justice session, whereby I realized that for me to really do my social justice work, I had to have some stand and also some conviction. And even besides that, I would say that the part of the arts, the sessions that I attended that were dealing with the arts, because I can say right now I'm somebody I can convey a message even through writing, through drawings, even through songs, even poems, and these are some of the skills that I didn't have a long time ago. And even besides that, I would say that right now I can face anybody, I can face any situation, and you realize that before I joined the fellowship program, I didn't have all the skills.
I've also learned from the fellowship on issues of theory of change, that solutions are within the community, and even theories of power, that there are hidden powers, there are visible powers, invisible powers. So all of them actually work as a system. So when you understand them, sometime you'll know how to deal with issues. So that's how I'm working right now.
My organizing has been improved with the lessons which we've been learning in class, especially theories of change, which is led by Steve Ouma. That theories of change, which has really changed my life, because it teaches us on how to go. If there's an issue, where you started from, just don't go run away with it. You have to look at the cause. What is the main problem and what is the cause behind this problem? There's community organizing led by Salome, whereby you have to do mapping. You have to map your community, develop a map in the community itself. You have to involve the stakeholders and see whom you're not involved in it. Yeah. And there's Mushai, who led us in the issues of art. I believe in activism, you have to involve art. When you want to send a message, you can send it through art, by writing a t-shirt, by sending a message.
Sincerely, all things that I have been learning in this process, they have really put me somewhere. Why I say so is because you see, like a theory of change. In fact, I didn't know on how to ask the correct questions while dealing with these issues. Maybe I could just handle things like locally without knowing this thing, how has it come from, or on how it was done, and also on how to solve issues. I could not know the right procedures of solving these issues. But at this particular moment, I think I have the correct procedures to follow while solving children issues.
The experiences and lessons that I have been able to capture or get from fellowship was about like my relationship between me and the community. As an activist, I deal a lot with the community, but to some extent you realize that they also they tend to close the boundary. So the fellowship through the training session, the counseling session, helped me to establish some boundaries. Even if I'm an activist, there are some things that I could do for the community, and some I just tell them point blank, I'm not in a position to do them. So basically what I would say, I'm able to grow as a person, as an activist, and now I'm also able to help the community grow, but with certain boundaries.
Traveling to a foreign country, you're going there alone, and you're supposed to just be yourself, just be responsible, and also meeting very, very people who are having holding very big posts. I would say the other thing was when the fellowship program was starting, I thank Fahamu for really looking into it and seeing that it was necessary to start up as such a program for nurturing young activists. Because I would say, like, even our team, we've been empowered and we are a very strong team, and even the first team that were trained. And I would say I'm very grateful to Fahamu. Yeah, because if it were not for Fahamu, I couldn't be this strong and this assertive and this focused, the way I'm focused now. And if it were not also for Fahamu, I couldn't have even thought of starting an organization. So I would say I'm very grateful to Fahamu for the support and for this program.
Meeting new people from different communities, Kenya, to Mwalimu Nyerere Festival. It was an experience to me, and even the placement itself. My placement, I was in Tanzania, organization called Pingos. It's a pastoralist organization. Now that I also come from a pastoralist community in Kenya. So they had issues of Loliondo, which is a land injustice, whereby the government is evicting people from Loliondo to make it somewhere whereby someone is hunting animals. So I think that is an experience because I saw people, the power of the people is within them. So the solution came from the people, and that issue of Loliondo been solved.
What stood out as the key in the fellowship was my trip to South Africa, because I met a different community in Africa, and the way they organize the things, it's almost similar in our country, and they realize that the struggles are the same. All of us are black, so we have the same struggles, but that one was the best. At least I met a different country.
My key moment is about exposure. When I was in Uganda, I really learned more, and it was my international exposure that I will never forget in my life.
I went to South Africa and I realized that they were doing door-to-door campaign. So actually I copy-pasted that from South Africa to my country, and we are doing a bit of organizing and mobilization on door-to-door basis. This is the way to go. The fellowship, Fahamu Fellowship, is a little thing to enlighten, to brighten, and eye-opener for the activists, the upcoming